Hello everyone, in today's video I will show you how to integrate your Airtable tables with spaces in Jira. I will show you how to set up the integration and an example of the sync. So the page for the connector you can see on the screen right now on the Atlassian Marketplace, and here you can start a 30-day free trial to test the tool for yourself. And once you install it, you will be met with a screen similar to this one. Oh, this one is something I've already created. Uh, Getting started, create the integration, and we can proceed. We'll choose the continuous sync, and now we have to connect to both Jira and Airtable to establish the connections and start mapping. So first I will connect to the Jira. To create a new connection, we have all the steps required basically laid out for you to follow, but it is relatively simple. What you do is you provide the URL, and then select the authentication type and all the required credentials for us to access the instance. I'll select a connection I have already created, and then I will connect to a project which I want to sync. Now, same story goes for Airtable. I think it's a little simpler as we only need to provide the API token. Again, we have the steps on how to get that in the documentation, and I will select first the base and then the table which I want to sync to my space in Jira. Now, I will start with mapping times and select the task, which is basically like a record on the table in Airtable, and then I will select which item type I'd like to select over on the Jira. So I will choose the task as well. And now what basically it is, if there is a record created over on the Airtable table, it will create a task in Jira and vice versa. And now we have to decide specifically what fields should sync within these item types. So we have already the title and the description mapped. Let's add something more. So maybe I will do like a dropdown, which I have named as a single select, and same for the Jira side. We can already see that the warning appeared. Don't be scared of this. This is basically saying that this is of like a choice type, basically like a drop down, and we haven't mapped any values yet. So we have to head over here to the map available options and just map the values across. Decide what should happen with the given value and how it should be represented on the other side of integration. So we'll do just that. All right, you can see the warning disappeared. And then let's just check Airtable for what fields I have prepared. Status is okay. The Jira counterpart. I will show you how to basically create a one-way mapping. So we'll map the URL of the Jira item to the URL over in the Airtable. And how it works when the item is created, it will store the counterpart, the URL of the counterpart over in the URL field on the Airtable site, just so you have a quick reference. And I believe we can leave it at this, just so we don't go too much into detail. As I mentioned, the statuses are covered in a separate tab, so we have which tab, which field represents the status, and then we can see the fields or the values are already mapped by getting. Let's just double check if anything's missing. It is not. Then we can head over to comments and make sure they are enabled. Here you can decide on the direction of the comment sync, and then you can filter them out and some additional configurations which we'll leave as default for now. And here in the advanced section you can decide on like a global direction of the sync or the sync updated kind of logic, but we'll leave everything pretty much simple. This is also configurable here on a per fields basis, so you can decide when the field gets synced, whether it is only when the item is created or only when it is being updated and whatnot. And then here you can also decide on the direction of the sync for specific fields. Here you can see that the URL field on the Jira is a read-only field, so it is set by default as a one-way sync. I will hit apply, name the integration, and hit create. Now before I do that, I can also apply filters. So if you're testing or maybe your integration shouldn't basically sync everything there is, you can apply a filter. You just select which field you want to base it on, then select the operator add a filter, and only those items that meet the criteria will be synced across. So let me hit create. Let me just double check if the previous integration I was testing is disabled, so we don't have any duplicates. All right, let me just name it differently as well. And then let's create a record over in the Airtable. So all right, and let's do the same, maybe even in done. Let me also post a comment here. We have mapped the single select field here. So let me do option 1 here. And that should do it. Also the description. Okay, we can see that the sync is already happening. So definitely the item from our table should sync across over to Jira. Not sure if I made it in time with the Jira item, but we'll see. Okay, we have it, but it may not be complete yet. So let's see. Yeah, looks good. So we you see that the Jira counterpart URL has already filled out upon sync, and then also the item from the over from Jira has come across with everything we have said pretty nicely. So let me just double check the item in. I have not assigned it to a sprint, so let me open it from this side. Yep, we have record in table, description, then we have the option 2 which we have selected, and the status is in progress. This is all we have mapped. Let me just double check if we have a comment field here. I believe we don't. So let's just double check if it will show up. I may have been a little too late, but the comments will come across. Don't worry about it. But for the sake of the video, I will finish it right here. Then, of course, it really depends on how many fields you have over in Airtable and Jira. You proceed with the additional mappings up to your needs, and all will work well. So thank you for watching. Feel free to reach us over via our support portal. If you have any questions, we'll be happy to help and guide you through the process. Bye bye.